Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do 5 looks using the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. The picture makes this palette look a little brighter than it is, and there's quite a bit of kick up. You'll see that throughout the video, but I did enjoy using this palette. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the looks. So the first one I call the soft and muted look, pretty much using the third row. Before each application I use the Milani eye primer. And I'm starting first with the color All For You. I'm going to put that in my crease and the transition. You can see the kick up every time I tap my brush. So you'll see at one point it looks like it's snowing. This is definitely a cool toned look. I did enjoy this shade. I thought it applied pretty well. Then I am using the color, I don't know, is that All For You? Act a Fool, I mean, that's Act a Fool. So I'm putting that on the lid. I'm just trying to make this purple. It looked pretty gray, to be honest, on me. Not very purpley, but still a nice color. Now I am back to All For You, and I'm going to the lower lash line just to create a little bit of definition. And then after that, I will be using Designer Duds, which is a metallic shade. This one is not super impressive as a metallic. It's a little bit peachy. It's fine, but it creates a little bit of highlight. And I just apply that with my finger. I did find with all of the metallics, using my finger was the best. So I'm just putting that on both eyes. And then showing you what this looks like. It's fine. I end up saving this look with a couple things. So now I'm going into Act a Fool again, and I'm just going to, you can tell I'm not wearing my glasses, sorry. I'm just going to build up the outer corner just to provide a little bit of contrast and to create a little bit more smokiness. You can see it when I look down quite a bit. But I felt like when my eyes were open, you didn't really see this part. So now I'm going to use Hot Gossip just to blend that color out. I'm going to put that in my upper crease, not quite all the way to my brow, but almost there. This really just acts kind of like a magic eraser does on your wall, just cleans up any of the edges. And then I'm going to highlight with Idle Hour. I don't often highlight my well, this is for my inner corner. Sometimes you'll see me highlight my brow bone, but that's not often. But this color would be beautiful in either. It's highly metallic. Then I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown eyeliner with the Beauty Blender, I don't know, this winged brush. I love it completely. You just run it along. Look at that. And the eyeliner doesn't move. So I just brightened up this whole look with the Lancome lip glass thing. And it's in color 366, sorry. And then you saw my mascaras there. So this one's going to be a super neutral look, and basically using this big fluffy brush. So the first color is Tease Me. This is a matte with some shimmer in it. It is very similar to my skin color, or at least it pretty much blends into nothing for me. So the faces I'm making are because of the fallout that's flying all over the room. And now I'm going to mix, what am I mixing? On Holiday and, nope, I'm just using Hustler with a little bit of Complicated. Hustler is a true matte, and then Complicated is, again, that matte with a little bit of shimmer in it. The shimmer I think you can see definitely in a swatch, but I didn't notice it on my eye at all, to be honest. Now I'm just going to go into Hustler again. And actually, sorry, yeah. This is Hustler by itself. Just trying to deepen that crease. And I'm remembering to pat off the excess. Once I build that color up, it does show up in my eye. So now I'm going into Complicated and putting that in the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into Rebel. This is a great metallic, a brownie metallic. I started applying it with a brush and that doesn't work at all for me. So I switched to my finger, which has a much better payoff. I love shades like this. They're just pretty. They're metallic. I love brown metallics. I think they look really nice. They look especially nice on blue eyes, but they work for brown. So just patting that all over. And then I just blend that out with a brush just to make sure there's no harsh lines. So next I'm using this thin brush. It's from Morphe. I really like it. You can get it right at Ulta. And I'm going to go into the shade, what was that, Velveteen, I think? So it's the matte brown. Could have used Crack On. That would have been good too. That's in that second row. And I'm just blending that in the very outer corner. That's why I like this brush. It really makes a really cool kind of wing or V on the outside, which I think looks really nice. And it's a nice matte color. And just blending that into the crease as well. Just for some eye definition, I'm putting a little bit on the lower lash line, just the very outer edge. And then I'm going back into Complicated to blend out that brown, just to make sure there is not a harsh line. And I'm enjoying that. And now I'm using this little tiny brush from Bare Minerals, and I'm going into the color True Talk. This is another metallic that it's actually quite nice. And I'm just putting that on the little, I wouldn't even call this the inner third, just the inner corner, a little bit in, just to provide a little bit of brightness there. Sorry if you hear some ambient noises. I have, we removed the door from my beauty room, so you're hearing house noises. And now I'm going to go back into the color Rebel, just to put that on my lower lash line, kind of right in the center, mimicking what I have above. And I've moved my contacts, so I have to blink a bunch of times. Don't mind me. And I really like that. And then I almost dropped everything. So a little bit more Rebel on the lid, just because I blended some of it away. Often it's just like a little touch-up. And then I'm using this brown pencil liner from Wet n Wild. It's in the color, I have no idea. It's a really simple brown color. What is it called? It is called, I don't know. I'm going to be done lining before it happens. Gimme Brown Now or something. And then I just have the a simple liner and the Fenty gloss on top. And I use the Honest Beauty mascara, and every single one I use Thrive Cosmetics at the bottom. So here's look 3, Warm and Golden. I'm using the second to the bottom row, starting with the color Hot Gossip, just to start off my crease. That's actually in the third row. But then I'll kind of hang out in the almost the last row. So again, I used Milani Eye Primer, and then this just gets me started in my lid. In my crease, excuse me. This whole week that I filmed this, I worked from home, so that was fun. So this is in the color Tabloid. Again, I'm using that brush like I did last time, and I'm just working this in the outer crease of my eye. What are these noises? Anyway, okay, so back to the makeup. We're working on the outer crease of my eye. And now I'm using a little bit of my thinner brush because I think this provides a little bit more concentrated look. So now I use a bigger brush just to blend that all out. And now I'm going to go into the Hot shade. It's the most orangey in the palette. Using a little bit of a bigger brush that's pointed and just making this look very warm. This isn't a crazy orange. Like, I think people that are afraid of color would still be totally fine with this one, but it definitely leans orange, super warm color. And I'm creating basically a subtle halo eye, just making sure that that color is on the inner and outer crease. And then I'm going to go into, what color is that? Fuzzy. So this is a metallic, warm metallic, what color did I use to color? It reminds me a little bit like fiery, but it's not a super intense color. And I'm putting that all over the lid pretty much. And then I'm going to top it with the color Genie. And I'm using the brush just because I didn't want this to be so bright, because this is a very bright gold. It's very pretty, but it's like a burnt gold. It's not too bright. Like, it's not too yellowy, I mean to say. And so I like it again. You can tell when I like a look. And then I'm just going to blend this all out just to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. And now for the lower lid, I'm going to go to Hot Gossip and Hot and just blend those two, and then put a little bit of that Genie in the center just to mimic the halo. I get really close to the camera. Hope you enjoyed my eyebrow. And then I'm going back to the Talk, which is in the second row, and just doing that inner corner. At some point I realized that I'm getting too close to the camera, but what are you gonna do? And I did the same eyeliner and the Honest Beauty mascara for this. So again, that Wet n Wild eyeliner. Then look number 4 is Dirty Bronze. This one's fun. And I'm starting with the color Full Expose, excuse me. I'm going to put that all over my lid. I have some good highlighter on in this video, in this clip. I have no idea what highlighter it was, but you keep getting glimpses of it, and I got to figure out which one it was. Anyway, so this is Full Expose all over. And then I'm going into the color Tease Me, which I really could have done without because it doesn't really do anything, but I'm trying. I'm trying to make it do something. And at some point I realized I better go for a deeper shade here. So now I'm going to go into Hot Gossip, and this one will provide the kind of depth that I'm looking for, just to provide a little bit of a clear shadow here in this socket of my eye. That's what everyone means when they mean the crease. So it's just kind of the eye socket where the ball meets the rest of your skin. The eyeball. Is it really a ball? I think it is. I don't know. I gotta. Yes, it definitely is a ball. Okay. Anyway, it's close to Halloween. Okay, so I build that up quite a bit to make sure I have some dimension. This would be a just fine, simple look. I like this shade, but we're gonna keep going. And now I'm going into Prefix. Funny. I love this shade. This is awesome. This is kind of taupey, kind of browny, kind of metallic, dirty, bronzy. Really great. I think this one had a really good color payoff. That's what I mean to say. And I'm just blending that all over the lid. Now, I'm going to go into the black shade. I rarely use black. I used it twice in these looks. So I'm going to, with the little skinny pointed brush, work on my outer, my lash line, but it's a little thicker than, like, you know, if you used a thin angled brush. So it creates quite a bit of smokiness. And I'm keeping it to the outer half of my lash line. But you'll see that it gets a little bit fat on the end, a little bit smoky. And then I said, let's do it on the bottom. I don't love smokiness on the bottom of my eye shade, but what are you gonna do? And then I'm going into Velveteen, and I'm just blending the lower lash line, just to make sure that black had something to blend into. And then back into Prefix, putting a little bit of that in the inner corner. I wanted to keep that kind of bronzy shade, and I'm pulling it a little bit further in. real close again. Marily's gonna work on this. Just showing you what that looks like. And mascara does something for it. So I use the same mascaras that I've been using. Again, this time I used a Milani lip gloss. All right, look number 5. This is Berry Breeze. This is the brightest look I can get out of this palette. I guess I was in a mood that morning. Anyway, brightest look, definitely berry in tone. So we're gonna start with All For You. I decided this is one of my favorite shades in the palette. I just think it creates a pretty look. In the first look, this looked much more gray on me. I don't know if maybe my brush was a little mixed with something, but now you can see a little bit of the berry in this, or the plummy nature of this. I think I definitely could have stopped right with this shade because it just works. But I kept going because that's what I do. So now I'm going to go into, what the heck was that? Was that Spree? No, that was Act a Fool, I think. I don't really know. I cover it up anyway. That might be Spree, actually. Yes, I think so. I think because of the color that's coming off. I will tell you, when I swatch Spree, it doesn't look the way it ends up looking in this look. I don't really understand this color at all, but anyway. So, just building that outer. This might actually be Act a Fool. I'm going to stop with myself. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. But soon, I will cover this all up with the color. Oh no, I'm going to do All For You on the lower lash line. Then I'm going to do Spree. But just building the lower lash line, just making sure this makes some sense, that the look looks complete. And what we've all been waiting for, the actual berry. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Real Techniques Instapop, I think. And this is a color Spree. It has so much fallout, it's insane. But it's very bright. But look at it, it's like snowing, it's crazy. And then it keeps happening. But I put this all over the lid, and as I built up this color, the more pinky it got. I was so impressed with it because in the pan it definitely doesn't look like this. So I think what's flying in the air is the glitters in this shade, and once you get rid of the glitters, you have, you know, a pretty berry look. So once they kind of blend away. But I really did like this, but it makes a big mess in the pan and on your table. So you'll see, I'm going to show you the pan in just a minute, the actual palette, and it's kind of crazy. But this look surprised me because it, see, can you see all that fallout? I don't know if you can, but it's crazy. There's a direct look at you. This color still surprises me because as I'm filming this and telling you about it, it does not look this way on my finger in the pan, but on my eye, it looks like a beautiful berry color. So I don't know what to say. I guess just try it and see. But I really did like this look. I thought this one was really pretty. So then I'm going to blend it out a little bit using a clean brush, just to make sure no harsh lines as usual. And then I'm going to highlight with the color Silk Teddy. Again, it has quite a bit of fallout. I'm going to put that in, look at the snow of eyeshadow. I'm going to put that under my lash line, under my eyebrow. I don't usually highlight here because I have quite a bit of room. I don't think I fully realized how much fallout this had. And now I'm going to go back into the black, and I'm using an angled brush this time. And I'm going to create a little bit of a wing. And I decided I really like black shadow for this. It was super easy, and just made the wing. It made it a little, like I wasn't going for that big of a wing originally, but hey, it worked. Put some nice definition at the lash line. And it was easy enough. Usually get this. this kind of brush, and then I just connected it at the bottom. You usually get this kind of brush in any eye set, shadow set, brush set. It's late. There we go. Adding a little bit more at the bottom. And I'm debating its presence. And now going into the idle hour for the inner corner. Just a little bit. So I'm going to use Honest, Thrive, and Bare Minerals One Fine Line liner, and then I used Lolita from Kat Von D and Cream in Your Coffee from MAC for the lips. So there you go. I hope everyone has a great day. Please subscribe. Bye.